Jesuit Volunteers Philippines Foundation Incorporated.
Kailangan ng mundo ang mga taong tulad mo, may tapang at kasipagan.
44 years of serving the church and country.
Nilang inapi, nilang gutom, nilang naghahanap, nagtatanong. Kaibigan, o ikaw ay di ko.
Jesuit Volunteers Philippines Foundation Incorporated's vision. A just society that celebrates the fullness of life, realized with the help of a community embodying Ignatian spirituality. Jesuit Volunteers Philippines Foundation Incorporated's mission. We aim to form a community composed of volunteers and former volunteers who nurture and live out the principles and values of Ignatian spirituality, embodied in and realized through their individual vocation characterized by service, simplicity, solidarity, and social justice. The Jesuit Volunteers Philippines Foundation Incorporated's identity. Faith-driven volunteer service for nation building. The Jesuit Volunteers Philippines Foundation Incorporated's core values. Service that builds, simplicity that frees, spirituality that loves, solidarity that unites, social justice that empowers. The Jesuit Volunteers Philippines Foundation Incorporated's objective. The Jesuit Volunteers Philippines Foundation Incorporated's organization constituents. The Jesuit Volunteers Philippines Foundation Incorporated's organization structure. The Jesuit Volunteers Philippines Foundation Incorporated's programs.
Hi, I'm Cheska, and this is my life as a Jesuit volunteer. But first, a little bit about me. I graduated from Ateneo de Manila University with a Bachelor of Science degree in Management Engineering. After college, I worked for over 2 years at a bank as a compliance officer. It has always been my dream to become a Jesuit volunteer, hence I resigned and pursued my application. Thankfully, I got accepted and it has been one great adventure since. I was missioned to Siargao where I was tasked to give after-class tutorials and weekly formation sessions to our 12 scholars. I also taught primary school learners basic grammar and vocabulary. Although I felt unqualified to teach, I was motivated to try harder because I wanted to provide the best for my students. When I joined JVP, I was certain that I would only volunteer for a year. But God had better plans for me, so I decided to renew at the last minute. Now, I've been deployed to Masbate with a totally different work, clients, and set of challenges. Though there are many hardships, I know that these are the ones that help us grow. Through them, I became wiser and more courageous. I learned to be more compassionate, understanding, and loving. To be a Jesuit volunteer means you get to travel to different places. I got to see many beautiful sceneries that the Philippines has to offer. However, my most meaningful experiences were not from the places I visited, but from the people I encountered. To be a Jesuit volunteer is to be a servant. Offering oneself in service is my way of making God's presence felt by the people that our world had seemed to forget. This mission allowed me to fulfill a purpose I had been longing for. I am proud to say that joining JVP is one of the best decisions I've made in my life. I thank God every day for bringing me here.
The Jesuit Volunteers Philippines Foundation incorporated kinds of volunteer service.
Kailangan ng mundo ang mga taong tulad mo, may tapang at kasipagan.
The Jesuit Volunteers Philippines Foundation incorporated its qualifications.
Nilang gutom, nilang naghahanap, nagtatanong. Kaibigan, o ikaw ay di ko ibig mawalay. Subalit muntala mo man, o mundo ang piliin.
Hi, I'm Rex Nicolai C. Flores, JVP Batch 4344. I come from Dumaguete City and I belong to the Cebu chapter. In my first year as a volunteer, I was assigned at the Sun Crew Incorporated at San Isidro, Siargao. And my task there was the education support officer of that institution. I did math tutorials for the kids after their school. At the same time, I also headed the leadership program where we help the student leaders develop their skills to become good leaders in the future. Currently, I am assigned at Kapulungan sa Gagmayng Mangingisda sa Concepcion here at Kabasalan, Zamboanga, Sibugay. And I am currently the Community and Cooperative Development Officer. Here, I enjoy being with the people, engaging with them, sharing stories with them. At the same time, I also help the organization in whatever I can give, like helping them in their financial reports, in making documents, and so on and so forth. It's a wonderful experience being a volunteer. It's a transforming experience for me, and I have learned so much. Perhaps the most significant for me this year is really presence. First, being present with the people around me. Sometimes I tend to want to do something, but sometimes what is asked of me is to just be here, to just be at the present, to be engaged with the people. Secondly, in my JVP year, I learned to be present not only with the people, but also to be present to myself. To be present to myself means being aware of who I am, and the JVP experience has helped me grow in my self-understanding of who I really am. Being a volunteer is not easy. It takes a lot of courage. The courage to risk myself for others, and the courage to embrace myself as I truly am, both accepting my strengths and weaknesses. But despite these difficulties, it is a fulfilling one. I am grateful to be a Jesuit volunteer.
Ating layunin, magkasama pa rin. magkasama pa rin sa ating layunin, ating layunin, ating layunin, magkasama pa rin. Magkasama pa rin, magkasama pa rin.
Hello, ako po si Rafael Canelita. After I graduated BA Psychology in the Ateneo de Manila University, I made the life-changing decision of joining the Jesuit Volunteers Philippines. Joining JVP was not part of my original plan. Of course, like other fresh grads, I was anxious to already start my career. But to quote Father Jet in his JVP year, I longed for the distance to steady my heart that was then being pulled in so many directions. I was assigned to the Naga City People's Council, doing committee organizing for farmers, children, and the youth. Even if I was homesick for practically the whole year, I was comforted by the solidarity of my co-volunteers. The spirituality and simplicity that kept me going, and knowing that I do these in service of social justice. My JVP year taught me that even if challenges, facing sufferings in this world is very difficult, it is ultimately nothing to be afraid of. Sometimes I think we just need to be brave enough to let our inner selves meet the hungers of the world. This is why I joined JVP.